Right now at 6, Florida Senator Marco Rubio sat down this week with the host of Facing South Florida, Jim DeFede, for an exclusive interview.
And Jim, what did you and Senator Rubio discuss?
Well, we talked about a number of things, but one of the things I wanted to sort of play for you now is, as you know, Senator Rubio is up for re-election in 2022, and there was some speculation that Ivanka Trump, the new Florida resident Ivanka Trump, might try to challenge him in the primary. So I asked him about that, and I also asked him if he still wants to be president, maybe possibly even running in 2024. Here's what he had to say. You're running for re-election. Do you rule out the possibility, or do you believe that you leave open the possibility of running for president in 2024?
Well, the way I tell people about that is I already ran once. So clearly at some point I was interested in being president. So it'd be silly for me to say no, never, ever. But frankly, one of the things I've learned, and you've known me a long time, I'm Speaker of the House, state legislator doing this, is I think one of the things I've learned in time is you got to kind of focus on what's before you and not always, thinking about what's down the road in a couple of years. I have a job. I have things I want to accomplish here. So I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on re-election. And honestly, I'm not trying to be evasive. I just don't know what the country is going to be like, what the party is going to want, what the country is going to need, or even what my own life is going to be like in 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, I weigh all these things all the time. I have I'm gone 3.5, 4 days a week. I have a young family that continues to grow up every single day. Every day I'm not there is a day I can't get back. That's a consideration for me in many of the decisions that I make. So I'm not in a position to tell you where I'm going to be 3 years from now.
Your phone conversation that you had with Ivanka Trump, what was that like? Because there had been speculation that she might try to challenge you in a primary. How did that call come about, and what did you talk about?
First of all, I talk to them all the time because I've gotten to know them going back to 2015 and 2016 when our families always sat next to each other at the debates. I worked with her on a bunch of public policy issues. There's been no speculation. It was a rumor reported by CNN. Somebody went on the record. I forgot, some former Florida reporter went on the record and speculated. The other ones that speculated. There's never been any feelers. There's never been any of that. This was all the entire time. It was just people chattering. Now, I'm not, and that's it goes from a rumor reported by who's basically a gossip columnist for CNN into this sort of mainstream reporting on something that was never going to happen. I simply ignored it. I've known Ivanka now for 5 or 6 years. I've worked with her and Jared on a bunch of initiatives. I've talked to them all the time. So it wasn't one phone call. I've talked to them several times before, leading up to and since they left their work at the White House. They're now residents of South Florida. So we've talked a lot about that. And this whole idea they were going to run was never under consideration. But people like to talk about stuff because it's good to talk about. I just let it play itself out.
Well, of course, Ivanka Trump would have been an interesting challenger for him from the right, given how powerful her father is in Florida. Now, we talk about a lot of different things, and over the next couple of days, we're going to roll out other aspects of the interview, including spending a fair amount of time talking to him about the impeachment trial and the insurrection on January 6th and some of the things that he said surrounding that. But tonight at 7, we're going to talk about the possibility of reopening the Homestead Detention Center and immigration reform. And I'll give you a preview. He does not think immigration reform should be a priority right now. That's a little surprising given that in 2013, he actually led the charge on immigration reform. Now, that's a stove he doesn't want to touch again.
Jim DeFede, interested to see what the senator has to say. We're looking forward to that at 7 p.m. Thank you. And you can watch Jim's interview with Senator Rubio on Facing South Florida this Sunday morning at 11:30.